What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we are honest, and we give our takes on AEW. It is early Monday morning, and we just got done Double or Nothing. It is 12:46 p.m., a very long show tonight. A very good show, but I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm just going to get it right off the bat right now. No, no more 12-match pay-per-views, TK. No more of that shit, man. I'm exhausted. And I got work in 10 hours tomorrow. I got work to go to on Memorial Day. I should have requested off, but it is what it is. I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. I'm going to do this review, get some sleep, and hopefully get some good hours at work tomorrow. But anyway, it's what I'm not here to talk about. We're here to talk about Double or Nothing. Wesley Williams is not here. Cameron Johnson is not here. For the first time in a very long time, I'm doing this shit solo by myself tonight. That's okay with me. But man, we got a lot to talk about. CM Punk is the new AEW World Champion. The summer of Punk is here. And I think we are on the horizon of an Adam Page heel turn, which I didn't think was possible. But I do think we are on the horizon of a Adam Page heel turn. And I'll talk about that when we get to the main event. Also, one of the best AEW matches of all time. Holy shit. The Anarchy in the Arena match. I'm going to watch over and over and over and over again. That shit was like a movie. I know we've had Stadium Stampede the past 2 years with COVID. That was insane. This match was unbelievable. Easily an all-time AEW classic, in my opinion. And then finally, we got to talk about the MJF stuff, which is going to be first. He did open up the show tonight against Wardlow. And we will get into all of that, but I appreciate you all stopping by the channel tonight. I don't know if you're watching this on Monday or when I upload it, but be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have some great content. I may or may not be going to a baseball game this week. I'm not sure yet. I just got my schedule for next week at work. I do have a couple days off, so we'll see how that goes. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, man. Leave a comment. What do you think of Revolution? Double or Nothing in the comments below. Let me know. Let me know what you think of Double or Nothing this year. I gotta get back into it, man. Let me check Twitter real quick before we talk about the show here. Twitter was absolutely going insane today, yesterday, about this MJF shenanigans that we are going to talk about first. It's just mostly CM Punk stuff. I'm actually quite surprised that CM Punk didn't turn heel in the process. I'm kind of glad he didn't, but man, I mean, it's gonna pay off, I think, in the right story, and I could see a story that they're going in with Hangman Page, but we'll talk about that when we get to the main event. We got 12 matches to talk about, guys. Strap in, get ready. We're gonna start it right now. MJF against Wardlow. Yes, the match happened. Yes, Wardlow won. Yes, Wardlow absolutely beat the shit out of MJF. And do I think this is a way of writing MJF off of AEW television? 100% yes. What I think is going to happen next in MJF's career, I don't know. I don't know. As we've all known, he's had contract issues with AEW. His contract with AEW is up January 1st, I think. January 2024. That's what I'm going to say. January 2024, his contract is up with AEW. And MJF is not happy with his contract because he feels like at what level he's at in the company, he should be getting paid higher. I can agree with that. I can honestly agree with that MJF should be getting paid higher. But here's the issue. Tony Khan and AEW are reportedly willing to pay MJF. They're willing to give him whatever he wants if he signs the dotted line and if he extends his contract. MJF doesn't want to extend his contract. MJF does not want to sign. That tells me MJF wants out of AEW. So apparently, this has been going on since April. This has been going on with April. Communication between MJF and AEW is at an all-time low. The relationship between Tony Khan and MJF has not been great in the past couple weeks. And this all culminated this weekend. The biggest story this week in wrestling, was MJF and AEW. So yesterday, MJF no-showed to FanFest. MJF no-showed his time meet and greet. And there was a bunch of people who paid hard-earned money, $150 I think it was, to meet MJF. And first thing I'm going to say is, why is AEW booking MJF to do a meet and greet? MJF, of all people, to do a meet and greet. If there's anybody on the AEW roster who should be exempt from doing meet and greets, it's MJF because of his character and who he is as his character. But on the other side, you're scheduled to be somewhere. You're scheduled to do whatever your boss or company says. You no-show. MJF should have absolutely went to this meet and greet, done whatever he had to do, sign autographs, rip posters, make fun of people. Who cares? MJF should have went to the meet and greet because there's people out there who paid hard-earned money, $150, to get roasted by this guy in 2 minutes. And he no-showed the meet and greet. If I was one of those people who paid $150 to meet MJF, I'd be beside myself. I would be livid that happened. It's not over yet, though, because then last night it was reported like around 10 o'clock, 10:30, that MJF apparently booked a flight out of Las Vegas, and it's going to Newark, New Jersey. So then there was all this speculation, MJF's, not showing up to Double or Nothing. He's not going to be there tomorrow. He's not going to be at the show. And people were getting very nervous with this, as they should have, because that would have been horrible. I'm going to be totally honest with you. If MJF did not show up to the pay-per-view tonight, this situation would have gotten much worse and much uglier. And I'm so happy that he did business tonight, because that would have been fucked up if he fucked up Wardlow's momentum like that and everything he's built for the past 2 years. It's not like a random match, and people want to compare this to Sasha Banks and Naomi. It's not like a random match where you're not happy with something or whatever. This match is 2 years, nearly 2 years in the making. And if MJF no-showed this pay-per-view, that would have been detrimental for Wardlow. I'm glad he showed up, and I'm glad the match happened. What's gonna happen after this show? I have no idea. Honestly, we're just gonna have to read reports when they come out. Whatever happens, happens. Obviously, MJF is not happy with AEW for whatever reason. He can go home and never come back if he wanted to. So I don't know what's gonna happen. His contract's not even up until 2024, and if he doesn't re-sign with AEW, he's going to WWE. There's no other way around it. He's not going back. He's not going back to MLW. He's not going to Impact. He's not going to wrestle Strong Style in New Japan. It's either one or two options. He's staying with AEW, or he's going over to the competition and he's going to WWE. Which honestly, I don't think it's a smart decision for him to go over to WWE. It's just not for MJF. And I know he's probably looking at the Cody Rhodes situation and see how Cody Rhodes is doing over at WWE. That's a completely different story, if you ask me. Cody Rhodes has been in the company before. He's a Rhodes, for crying out loud. Cody is a Rhodes. And the Rhodes name is one of the most legendary names in WWE history. So we all know Dusty Rhodes. And it's a completely different story. Cody came in and he was immediately the top guy on Monday Night Raw, which honestly does not shock me. And he's probably going to be the world champion by the summer. Not by the summer, but during the summer, I do believe he will become the WWE champion. But that's just not, I don't think that's the case for MJF. He's 25 years old, and it would honestly be a bad look on WWE's part if there's multiple former AEW stars in your main event team, because that's just showing how not great the roster is because of not being able to build stars. That's just my opinion. You guys probably don't like that, but that's just my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen, but we got to talk about the match. MJF, Wardlow. Wardlow came out of the dressing room, one locker. He was the only one in there. He was double handcuffed because he snapped off the handcuffs Wednesday night on Dynamite. So he's walking down there with all the security, and the crowd's chanting for MJF. He showed up, and then you fucked up. So they were making fun of MJF the entire time. MJF was even mocking with the plane motion about the rumors that MJF booked a flight home. MJF was mocking it. I definitely got a laugh from that. But then the match was pretty simple. MJF really did not get a lot of offense on Wardlow. Wardlow got most of the offense in this match. Wardlow powerbombed MJF 10 times, and he got the win, as deserving. And I saw people today saying that AEW should make MJF happy and have him go over Wardlow. Absolutely not. That's delusional booking, if you ask me. That is absolute delusional booking. If they had MJF go over on Wardlow, and then after the match, Wardlow celebrating, they immediately stretcher MJF to the back. Crowds chanting, "You deserve it." Wardlow goes on stage, and he gets the All Elite graphic. Wardlow is All Elite. He's in tears, and he thanks everybody in attendance. This could have been the plan all along, that Wardlow was going to dominate MJF like this, and then MJF was going to get stretchered out of the ring. but this felt maybe I don't really say this a lot about AEW. This could have been a burial for MJF. Like I said in the beginning, this was 100% a way for AEW to write MJF off of TV because everything that's happened over the past couple weeks, who knows? Who knows how long MJF is going to be off of television? If I had to guess, he's going to be out for quite a while. I don't know if we're going to get him back by All Out. I don't know if he'll ever come back to AEW. So now we're just going to have to play the wait and see game. As for Wardlow, though, I'm just happy he got his big moment. He's so over with the crowd. He is definitely the next big thing in AEW. And now you can probably hear the replay of the pay-per-view in the background. But he's definitely the next big thing in AEW, and I'm glad that he got his moment because if MJF no-showed the pay-per-view, that would have been absolutely horrible. Horrible. Let's keep going here. We got the Hardys against the Young Bucks. Elite versus Delete. This match was very good. Very good match, I thought. I thought the match was very good. Jeff Hardy was pretty slow in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. He was pretty slow, having a hard time catching up with the Young Bucks. Second half of this match, Jeff Hardy was on. This match was very good at the end. Jeff Hardy hit a Whisper in the Wind. He hit Poetry in Motion. Then he hit a Swanton bomb onto Matt Jackson while he was laying on the stairs. And he got the Swanton bomb over Nick Jackson. 1, 2, 3. The Hardys beat the Young Bucks in a very good tag team match, which started out very slow in the beginning, but at the end, I thought turned out to be a very good match. What happens with the Hardys, I'm not sure. I originally predicted the Young Bucks to win this match. I'm glad I was wrong. Young Bucks don't need to go over in this instance. I know the Hardys are legendary. They're one of the most accomplished tag teams of all time. But Jeff Hardy literally just got into AEW. And the story is one last chase for the Hardy Boys for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Maybe that's what they're building towards next. Because we got a 10-man tag coming up on Friday with Jurassic Express and the Hardy Boys with Christian Cage against the Undisputed Elite. So I'm not sure what is going to happen, but the Hardys get the win over the Young Bucks, and I had absolutely no problem with it. Anna Jay and Jade Cargill. The match wasn't even the big talk about this time period. The match was whatever. I honestly enjoyed their first match on Rampage in January. Instead of this match more, I thought this match was pretty sloppy for what it was. Yeah, Jade Cargill got the second rope Grand Slam with her finisher, or what they call the Jaden, I think, which looks very nice. It looks very nice. But the talk was after the match. The talk was after the match where Stokely Hathaway actually made a distraction to Anna Jay. Yes, Stokely Hathaway, a.k.a. Malcolm Bivens, assists Jade Cargill to the win with Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet there. And it seems like Stokely Hathaway is going to replace Mark Sterling with the baddie section. Honestly, great move. Malcolm Bivens, as we knew him in NXT, has amazing personality, and I think he will be a great on-screen character for AEW. And I'm glad that actually Tony Khan was able to pick him up, because Mark Sterling in the baddie section was kind of not didn't really make sense that much. Malcolm Bivens with Jade Cargill in the baddies spells money to me. But that wasn't the only debut. We had the baddies beating up NJ after the match. Chris Statlander came down for the save, and she got a huge pop. By the way, the crowd is reacting to Chris Statlander now. By the way, they were forcefully disappointed that Chris Statlander lost on Friday to Ruby Soho, and this pop that she got, they need to have her be the person who beats Jade Cargill. No doubt about it. She needs to beat Jade Cargill for that TBS championship. And then came Athena. Ember Moon. She's got awesome theme music. The crowd gave her a massive pop. She looked hyped, happy to freaking be there after everything she went through in WWE. I'm not going to say the reports because I don't want to waste time, but she looked incredibly happy to be there, and I was happy for her. She helped Statlander and Jay, and it looks like it could be heading for a 6-woman tag with, excuse me, it's 1 a.m. now, past 1 a.m. Looks like we're setting up for the baddies against Anna Jay, Chris Statlander, and Athena. I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with it. Up to this point of the show, the best match of the night was the Death Triangle and House of Black. Both teams got really cool entrances. Penta's son, Mini Penta, was out there for his entrance. That was very cool. House of Black had all face paint on their faces. They looked like complete badasses. Besides one spot, which Brody King did, trying to do a dive over the top rope, and his back landed on the apron. This match was fucking great. This match was great, fast-paced. Definitely what you would have expected for this match, and 5 times better. This match was great. We got the moment. The lights went out once Pac was set up to go for the Red Arrow on Malachi Black. The Death Triangle got Malachi into a 3-on-1 situation after taking out Buddy Matthews and Brody King. They all took out Malachi. The lights turned off. Julia Hart was standing right there in an all-black dress with her ponytails out, eye black on this side. She spit mist into the face of Pac, into a black mass. 1, 2, 3. The House of Black get the win, and Julia Hart gets her moment on pay-per-view, joining the House of Black. This might not be the end of this feud. I kind of hope it is. They've been feuding since... God. Excuse me again. I think they've been feuding since, like, January or something like that. They've been feuding for a very long time. I wouldn't mind if they want to wrap this feud up, but Julia Hart got her big moment. She's in the House of Black. I think she's gonna do well in that group. I think she'll do well. She's not with the Varsity Blondes anymore. And now that she's not with the Varsity Blondes, I think it's time to break up Garrison and Pillman Jr. You got so many tag teams in the tag team division that it just feels like Garrison and Brian Pillman are just not going to get pushed. And if AEW's invested in a Brian Pillman singles run, they might want to get started on that as soon as possible. But, man, All I could think of when I watched this match and how great this match was is I'm so damn excited for when the trios tag team titles get here. I need Kenny Omega to return as soon as possible. I'm not rushing his timetable at any means, but Tony Khan keeps saying we're having trios tag team titles, but I'm waiting for Kenny Omega to get back, which makes me think that the Elite are going to be the first trios champions. But with matches like this, can you imagine the tournament we're going to have for the trios tag team titles? You're talking about factions like the House of Black, Death Triangle, uh, the Elite, the Super Elite, uh, the Best Friends. Um, so many goddamn factions. I can't name them off the top of my head right now, but it would be freaking crazy, this tournament. And there's the Blackpool Combat Club. How can I forget them? That's a huge faction that could be in this tournament and maybe win the championships. The Blackpool Combat Club. So many options with these trios titles, man. It's going to be crazy when Kenny Omega comes back, because when Kenny Omega comes back, we're getting that tournament for the trios tag team titles. That's for sure. I can't wait. This match was great. House of Black win, and I'm happy Julia Hart got her big moment on pay-per-view. The men's finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament was Samoa Joe against Adam Cole Bay. This match was very good. Story of this match was Cole going after Joe's left arm and his upper body. Came into factor at the end because Bobby Fish was on the outside and he went after Joe's arm. Joe then was knocked down by Adam Cole. Cole hit the boom and was the winner of the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Much deserving. I actually thought Samoa Joe was going to win for sure after they announced that Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, all of them were banned from ringside. I'm like, yeah, Joe's going to win this. Joe is going to win this, but I'm shocked. Really, Joe lost clean as a whistle. Joe lost clean as a whistle to Adam Cole, and it was a good match, but it ended abruptly as well. And then they announced that they would present the championships of the winners of the men and women tournaments at the same time. And the next match was Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. And you knew right there that Britt Baker was going to win this women's that she was going to win this women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. So that was the next match. Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, Rich Ward played Britt Baker out to the ring, and Rancid played Ruby Soho out to the ring. If you had to ask me which performance was better, I would definitely take Rich Ward. That was some sick shit right there. So, this match, I hated the finish. Hated the finish. Wednesday on Dynamite, Britt Baker beat Tony Storm by a roll-up. Friday on Rampage, Ruby Soho beat Chris Statlander by a roll-up. Tonight, Britt Baker beat Ruby Soho by a roll-up. I don't like it. I don't like the way these matches were booked for the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. I thought for sure that Tony Storm was going to beat Britt Baker. That did not happen. I expected Chris Statlander to beat Ruby Soho. That did not happen. That would have been my finals. My finals would have been Tony Storm and Chris Statlander, and this show would have been fine without Britt Baker, if you ask me. Now, I don't like. I mean, It's not like I don't like Britt Baker, but she did not need to win this tournament. She just came off a 9-month, 10-month reign as the women's champion. She did not need to win this tournament. I get why. They wanted Adam Cole and Britt Baker, boyfriend, girlfriend, out there at the same time. They wanted them to get their moment together, which was good. Martha Hart was out there. She gave a nice speech about Owen Hart. Crowd was chanting Owen. It was actually a very good moment, a very sweet moment. And they announced that they're doing this every year, and that the winners of the tournament are going to uh, they're going to defend the title every year. I like that. They're going to do the Owen tournament every year around Double or Nothing, which I'm honestly a fan of. I'm definitely I'm definitely a fan of of them doing that. And they got their moment. I understand that. I'm cool with it, but Britt Baker did not need to win the Owen tournament. You could have had that going to Statlander, Ruby Soho, which, I mean, you could have went to Ruby Soho, but she really, let's be honest, she had no momentum going into this match either. So, if anything, I thought this tournament was Tony Storm's, to be honest with you. But Britt Baker and Adam Cole, the champions of the Owen Hart Cup, and that was the first half of the show. And at the first half, I thought it was all right. It was all right, and then the show took a nosedive with Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, and Frankie Kazarian against the Men of the Year and Paige Van Zandt. What a disaster. What a disaster for this match. Are we really setting up Sammy Guevara against Frankie Kazarian as the next program? Are we serious? Like, I'm so disappointed how bad how bad down how down Sammy Guevara has gone um since all this Ty Conti shit's happened, that they've played their relationship on screen. It's garbage. I don't want this on my AEW television. This is by far the worst Sammy Guevara match I've ever seen. Ever. It was so bad and so cringe. He was literally making out with Ty Conti the whole match, getting in arguments with Frankie Kazarian, and luckily, the Men of the Year and Paige Van Zandt won this match. Paige Van Zandt looked okay. She really didn't wrestle much in this match, if you ask me, or I might have just not paid attention. But the best part about that six-man trios tag, is that the ref counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. Scorpio Sky pinned Frankie Kazarian. Thank God. Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin, this match was so random. This match was very good, but the crowd literally could not give two shits about this match. There's no reason at all why this match should have been on the actual show. The match was good, but the crowd gave no shit. The crowd couldn't give a shit about this match. Not at all. And for whatever reason, Kyle O'Reilly went over. Kyle O'Reilly went over clean as a whistle on Darby Allin, which shocked me, to be honest with you. Like, I've never seen Darby Allin put someone over as clean as like that. That was just weird booking, if you ask me. I don't know what their plan is, but having Kyle O'Reilly go over on Darby Allin like that was just weird to me. But whatever, the match should have been on the buy-in. This was a waste. There was no point of that match, if you ask me. There was no point of that match. But I tweeted out when those two matches happened that this show took a deep nosedive. And the show was okay at best. And I'm like, these final 4 matches are going to determine how this show is, how this show goes. As I scroll through Twitter, people saying this is the worst AEW pay-per-view. No, it's not. You didn't watch All Out 2020. That shit was a disaster. You did not watch All Out 2020 if you think this pay-per-view tonight was the worst pay-per-view in AEW history. Let's go. Serena, Deeb, and Thunder Rosa. Very technical match. Very good match. They got such shit build going into this match, and therefore I didn't give a shit leading up to it. But when they actually got in the ring, they put on a very good match. And this is when the crowd started to wake up, if you ask me. They were kind of into this match. And Thunder Rosa won clean with the Thunder Driver and got the win. So that's that. And also another complaint that I have about the show leading up to that match, which was okay at that point, pacing. I mean, bad pacing. The fact that you started off the second half of the show with that meaningless 6-man tag was a horrible decision. That should have been right after the Anarchy Arena match, and you should have started the second half of the show with the triple threat for the tag team titles. That's just me. Speaking of Anarchy and Arena, holy shit. This match will go down in the history books as one of the best matches in AEW history. This was unreal. Outside of, man, AEW knows how to just deliver fun matches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all over the place, chaotic matches. We saw one at Revolution with Darby and Sammy and Sting. I'm going to be a little bit biased, and I'm going to say, actually, that 6-man at Revolution was the most fun match I've seen in person. That's not a question. But the most fun match, maybe, that I've ever watched was that match. The Anarchy in Arena. I'd have to think about it, but holy shit. This match was nuts. So, the Jericho Appreciation Society against Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Santana, and Ortiz. This match was nuts. This was my favorite match of the night. Other people might disagree. That's okay. That's their opinion. This was my favorite match of the night. This was not my favorite match of the year, but it was my favorite match of the night. And this will go down in the history books as one of the best matches of AEW history. The Jericho Appreciation Society came out and looked like Baker Boys with that commercial, all wearing white suits, white hats, old hats. And then Jon Moxley's theme music plays, Wild Thing. And they announced Jon Moxley. They announced Santana. It's like the Shield. They announced Bryan Danielson in one section. They announced Ortiz in one section. And they announced Eddie Kingston, who's sprinting down. And the Jericho Appreciation Society goes to attack him. Eddie Kingston goes after Jericho. You got Santana with Jake Hager. You got Garcia with Ortiz. You got Matt Bernard with Eddie Kingston. You got Danielson with Parker. This match was freaking nuts, man. Or Moxley with Matt Bernard. I think that's his name. So for like the first 8 to 10 minutes of this match, I was very confused because they were playing Wild Thing with Jon Moxley's team, and they were cranking that shit up. They were not quieting the music down. That freaking music was loud the entire time. And you had Bryan Danielson throwing Parker into the camera. You had Moxley absolutely busting open Matt Bernard with a fork. He looked a mess. And then the music stops when Jericho and Moxley are brawling. Jericho unplugs the music track. The crowd goes booing. The crowd chants "F you, Jericho." Crowd chants "We want music." Freaking great, man. I was mad too. I love jamming out to Wild Thing. It's one of my favorite AEW songs. But on this night, Chris Jericho was an absolute prick. Oh man, where do we go? Where do we go? We had Santana and Ortiz give a double superplex to Jake Hager through 2 tables. We had Eddie Kingston squirting ketchup on Matt Bernard in the concourse area, the catering concession stand area. So they were going at it. Chris Jericho was with Moxley. Then Garcia was with Eddie Kingston, and Garcia was with Eddie. Eddie Kingston was with Garcia for a very long time. He was the most of this match. He was with Garcia, and one of the best visuals of this match is Garcia was wearing a belt and was whipping Eddie Kingston with it, and he was dragging Eddie Kingston along the ground with a goddamn belt on, choking Eddie Kingston, dragging the belt which is holding back Eddie Kingston's throat. Madness. Absolutely madness. They then fight in an elevator. I don't know where they went after that. That was the last we seen of Daniel Garcia. We then see a very nice exchange with Hager and Danielson. That was one of my favorite things during this match. The back and forth between Jake Hager and Bryan Danielson. People think Jake Hager sucks. That is the complete opposite. Jake Hager is very good in big time situations like this. If they want to do a one-on-one match after what I saw tonight, Jake Hager versus Bryan Danielson, I'm down, dude. I'm absolutely down. I loved their exchanges throughout the entire match. If anything was technical wrestling in this match, it was with Hager and Danielson in the ring. Santana and Ortiz take out 2.0 with frog splashes off the ladder through two tables. And the visual of this match, where the match got out of hand. Eddie Kingston. Man, if you showed this picture to little children, they're going to be terrified for a very long time. Eddie Kingston, this man, was walking down the ring, all busted open. Head, t-shirt was all red, walking sluggish like this. This man, Eddie Kingston, was walking down the ramp with freaking a tank of gasoline, dumped it onto Bryan Danielson while he had the lapel lock in on Jericho. He dumped it on Danielson and Jericho. Danielson got up. He was pissed. Eddie Kingston had a match. Danielson slapped it. Danielson and Eddie Kingston were brawling. Moxley had to break this up. Jericho came in with a turnbuckle pad. Hager hit Moxley with a steel chair. Jericho hit Eddie Kingston in his stomach with the turnbuckle pad. Then they put the walls of Jericho on Danielson. Jericho did, and Jake Hager was wrapping the ring strap around Bryan Danielson's throat, pulling it back as hard as possible. I thought for sure we were going to see Eddie Kingston make the save for Bryan. Bryan passed out, and the Jericho Appreciation Society wins the Anarchy in Arena, which tells me we are getting blood and guts. I don't know if it's going to be between the same 10 guys, but we're getting blood and guts, and it's going to involve Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston. I'm just going to say it right now. I might get some heat for this one. I'm probably going to, because I have some friends that did not enjoy this match, and that's okay. But if you did not enjoy this match, you honestly don't accept fun, if that makes sense. Like Stadium Stampede, besides not in COVID era, this match was just fun. The crowd was eating this shit up the entire time. Chants of AEW, chants of this is awesome. I mean, this is as fun as it gets with this type of match. And people, everybody's not going to like it. That's okay. But I don't know, man. I was very confused at it by the beginning. And at the end of it, it ended up being one of my favorite matches of the entire year. And honestly, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch that match over and over and over and over again until I'm tired of it. And I'm tired right now. So, I mean, I totally expected the pro wrestlers to go over in this match. The sports entertainers went over in this match. Which honestly, I got no issue with. I got no issues with it because they're continuing the feud between Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston. And like the moment that when Wardlow got his hands on MJF and gave the ass beating he deserved, that was a huge moment tonight. When Eddie Kingston gets his moment, he gets his hands on Chris Jericho. That's going to be a huge moment. I don't know what he's going to do to Jericho, but holy shit. We could be in for some serious shit in the next couple months. 3-way for the tag team titles. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, Team Taz and Jurassic Express. Honestly, this match should not have been placed right here. This spot should have went to the Sammy Guevara match. Crowd was into this match, but still recovering from the Anarchy and Arena match. And it was a great 3-way, but I just wanted to see the main event at that point. I was very shocked that Jurassic Express retained. They hit the Jurassic Express on Swerve Strickland, and they retained. So I went a little bit fast with that one. I want to get to the main event really bad, and I got to go to bed soon because I gotta work tomorrow. But CM Punk and Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. People thought this match would be 50-50. This match was certainly 50-50. You had your CM Punk fans and you had your Hangman Page fans who were cheering for Hangman and were cheering for Punk. An excellent match. An excellent storytelling match. Hangman was conflicted. He was not confident when the crowd was chanting F you Hangman. And then the crowd was chanting F you Punk. The story of this match was Hangman's confidence. Hangman was taking this match personal, but CM Punk was always getting into his head. The finish was amazing. The match was amazing. This was probably the second best match of the night next to the Anarchy Arena match, this was my second favorite match of the night. Besides those horrible buckshot lariats from CM Punk, which, by the way, please never do that again. Please. Besides the botched buckshot lariat, this match was amazing. The story is amazing. The story was Hangman self-doubt again, and the finish was fucking awesome. The finish of this match, CM Punk had Hangman for the CM Punk had Hangman for the go to sleep, and Hangman accidentally kicked the ref, Paul Turner, down, and he reversed the GTS into whatever move. I don't remember what it was, but then he saw that the ref was down, and he saw the world title belt. He picked up the title, was acting like he's going to hit CM Punk with the world championship. He hesitated, but he didn't hit him with the belt. He wanted to do the right thing. He wanted to beat CM Punk the right way. He didn't want to cheat to beat CM Punk without the ref looking, so he drops the title, goes on the outside, looks for the buckshot lariat. Punk reverses it into a GTS, and the referee slow counts. CM Punk is the new AEW World Champion. The summer of Punk is here. This man had tears of goddamn joy after winning the World Championship. CM Punk is a world champion in professional wrestling. After everything this man has been through with WWE and that bullshit, sitting out of wrestling for 7 years, we're coming up a year to when CM Punk came back to wrestling to join AEW. We're coming up on that year anniversary. He's been in AEW for 9 months, and he's the biggest star in the company, and he's the new AEW World Champion. How can you not be happy for CM Punk? How can you not be happy for CM Punk and this moment for him, swinging the title, crying? You had a promo after the show went off the air. FTR came out with him to celebrate. What a moment. If there was big moment makers tonight, it was Wardlow and it was CM Punk, for sure. Those two guys got their big moments. Their much-deserved moments. Now, what's happening with Hangman Page? Hangman Page is no longer the AEW World Champion. In my opinion, Hangman Page had the second best reign as the World Champion. Put on some absolute amazing matches. He had the second best World Championship reign. I'm still giving it to Kenny Omega. But what's next for Hangman Page? Hangman Page is going to turn heel very soon. I don't know when, but Hangman Page looks like is going to be a heel because he had a meltdown. Hangman Page, the ending of the match, Hangman Page legitimately had a meltdown when the referee was knocked out cold. He's always wanted to do things right, wanted to do it the right way, and doing it the right way costed him the AEW World Championship. Trying to beat CM Punk fair and square costed him the World Championship. So, I could see him going to a darker side maybe. I don't know what character he's going to have, but I didn't think it was possible that Hangman could go heel. Looks like Hangman Page is going heel, man. So, that should be interesting. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but maybe he turns on the Dark Order to go heel. I don't know. I mean, that might be kind of lame. Dark Order really aren't featured on AEW TV anymore, so it's like, what would be the point of having him turn on the Dark Order? I'm not so sure, but he's going to be a heel. He's not even he's not the top babyface in the company anymore. That's long gone. That spot's Wardlow's. Wardlow and CM Punk are the two top baby faces in the company right now. And I feel like after this pay-per-view, which was very good, I enjoyed the pay-per-view overall. Not perfect by any means necessary. It wasn't better than Revolution. But with this pay-per-view, I'm left with more questions than I am answers. We'll see when those questions get answered. One of those questions is about MJF. You know, what's happening with him next? I'm guessing he's written off TV. We'll find out. So, that's all I got tonight. It's nearly 1:45 a.m., so I got to get the hell out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Comment down below your thoughts on Double or Nothing tonight. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself on tonight's video. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Conlon_Joseph. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you Wednesday night for the AEW Dynamite review. A big episode of AEW Dynamite Wednesday night here on the Big Fight Field channel. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.